Hello ipXers, we are at the Things Conference. We're going to meet Bjorn. All day we've been talking about how things communicate, how IoT systems work. We often, at ipXchange, talk about alien tech. Bjorn is going to tell you how he's created a system that is going to enable you to maximise what that does for battery life when you're making something like that. Bjorn, tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so we at Qoitech, we have a tool that is used by you as a developer when you would like to optimize your design, regardless if you work with hardware or software. You would like to optimize this to get as long battery lifetime as possible. So we have our tool here, together with the software, hardware and software, that gives you all the means to optimize your design. You will see how the current consumption is affected by different firmware versions. So I mean, you can flash different firmware and see how they change, if they have better or worse power consumption. I mean, you should never release software that ruins your battery lifetime. So our tool then show this by having a sync between the firmware and the power measurement.
Right.
Yes.
So if I'm a design engineer, first of all, I might have designed that myself, or I might have bought that off the shelf.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
But I'm going to be asking it to do certain questions and sit in a certain environment and take data from certain sensors. So everything is custom in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? So how do you set up the parameters, or what are the parameters that this works by to take all of that into account? Because if I'm a design engineer and I think everything is customized, you're then coming with a box of magic.
Yes.
To understand and how to optimize that.
Yes.
So for them, can you just give us some insight as to how the parameters are that this is set up, or what are your parameters,
Yeah.
so you can analyze what's going on that board?
Yes. So basically, I mean, it is a very smart power supply. So the power measurement is not any magic. It's just very, very accurate measurement.
Yeah.
And how you get insight in how the firmware affects the consumption is that if you enable a UART output,
Yeah.
where you send out debug prints, these debug prints are then synchronized with the measurement. And so actually it's generic. It's not only for specific IoT protocols, it's for all IoT protocols.
So you just described that as a power supply.
Yes.
Obviously it's more than that.
It is
Clearly
much
it's more
more.
than-
It's
of course
much
it
more.
is.
Yes, yes.
So, and it may be a question you don't want to answer because this is your alien technology, so that's fine. But essentially, it's sending out power and it's getting power back.
Yeah.
Essentially,
So it's sending and measuring the power.
yes.
Yes.
So, and that it's with the difference between what goes out and what comes in is that you're then able to understand the efficiency of the system.
Yeah, so how it works is that the current draw from the device is visible in high resolution, I mean very high accuracy. And how you understand what the device is doing is then this time sync of the UART debug logs
Yeah.
and the values from
Yes.
the measurement.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think in my language, not your language, because you're a chief product officer, and clearly I'm not. It's the difference between the signal that it sends out and the signal that it gets back, and then you're able to work out the subtleties of the difference.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm a design engineer, my job is to improve this every day. A huge part of that in IoT is battery management.
Yes.
When they use your system, give or take, how much does your system improve that power efficiency? Are we talking about making a battery last or be more efficient? Let's ask that question. Do you improve efficiency by 20%, 50%, 100%?
I mean, really hard to answer, but we have seen really bad designs that when you start looking at them...
Obviously none of your really bad...
No.
None of your bad designs.
But I mean, as soon as if you haven't measured accurately, you can have done really big mistakes. I mean, you can forget to turn off clocks. You can do a lot of things that really ruins the battery lifetime. So I mean, having a tool like this makes it much less likely that you launch something that has really bad battery life. So I mean, if you haven't measured, start measure and see how it looks.
So do you think the reason for that is, even though we're in a relatively mature industry, which we are, is the reality is that something like this, or something in transportation, or somewhere where you've got a sensor out in the field, let's say in agriculture, these are still new areas. These are new areas of IoT, so where IoT is coming to life.
Yes.
So do you think that that's just a natural development, that people will make mistakes? So don't beat yourself up over mistakes. This is all new areas.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna make mistakes, even though if it's not new areas, we all make mistakes. And I mean, this tool helps you to show the mistakes so you can correct them.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's new technology.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot while we've been wandering around. We talk about the business case scenario, which seems to be. You talk about, when I go to shows, I'm able to pick up on themes.
Yeah.
So quite often, when I went to CES, it was all about AI. Here, when I talk to people about IoT, they're not necessarily talking about technology, they're talking about business cases.
Yes.
Business case, business case, not technology solved a technology problem.
Yeah, and battery lifetime is a business case.
Is a business case.
Killer.
Absolutely.
So I mean, if you haven't taken into considering the battery that you are going to use, if you only have done measurement with a normal power supply at a certain set of voltage, I mean, all the batteries, they would change the voltage level all the time when you use it. If you have never measured, then most likely your business case is killed.
Yes. So it's that's a really important point for our community, because we've talked about and we've got videos on the efficiency of IoT, why IoT projects fail, and what's coming out of that is it's all about the business case scenario. And what Bjorn's saying is a massive part of that in IoT and wireless applications is all about these little fellas. I've got my Z in, little fellas.
Yes.
And these are, is it fair to say, unreliable?
Well, they are like black boxes. They are a little bit magic.
They are.
Yeah. So unless you know battery chemistry, which most of us don't.
If you're trying to make this,
then this is something you really must look into, because it will affect the battery lifetime.
Right. So how does design engineers saying, right, I've understood the message about business case. I've understood that it's all about the batteries. I've understood that I've got to analyze this stuff. How do they come to you? Do they just buy this off the shelf? What happens?
I mean, we sell through the big distributors like Mouser, DigiKey, RS Component, a lot of them.
Or they could come to ipXchange.tech.
Yeah. And when you buy it, you get the software together with that, so you can start working. We do have a specific software license for some few features, like this battery to emulate, because we can emulate batteries. To do that would require then a specific license.
Alien tech.
and I mean, how we say that you're going to use this tool is, first step, you look at your device, you measure it, you try with the different firmware versions, you measure everything. Second step is that you then move away from your device, you start connecting a battery here instead. You discharge the battery according to how your device consumes energy. And then the third step is then that you can then emulate the battery according to how then the system would work. And here you would then see all the data. When will you get your first cutoff? How much of the battery capacity can you actually use before?
So you can emulate, if you like, product life cycle.
Exactly.
Which is back to your business case.
Yes. So there you can see how much of the battery capacity can you really use. How much is dead capacity that you have paid for, but you do not use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you improve your battery lifetime from I don't know 1 year to 5 years, then you have a really much better business case.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, Bjorn, that's a very good introduction to what you do. Master long battery life. So we must take from this on all the videos that we've done. Business case scenario first. If you're going to be in the IoT world, these or another energy source are going to be very, very important. Bjorn's just explained where you could take this to last a year versus 5 years, if you get it right.
Yes.
And accept you're going to make mistakes here. It's just natural.
I mean,
so don't worry about that. But analyze it, understand it,
exactly,
and
correct it. Yeah.
Correct it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bjorn.
Thank you.
Very good discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.